Tremaine, with all the additions that the Bears got on offense, what excites you the most about going against them in training?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. When you play good on good versus one another, man, that brings out the best in everybody. So just having the players to the skill level that we have, offense and defense, each day at practice, man, it's gonna feel like a game. And that's what you want. Like when you want to be the best, you got to go against the best. And just having that competition level day in and day out, you have no choice but to get better, and that's what you want. Like being in this league, to be one of the teams, to be one of the top teams, you have to practice that way. And by default, when you have guys out there on the field that participate in a high level, that's ultimately going to bring out the competitive nature in everybody. So it's going to be fun. It's been fun. Like I said, it's not our first time. OTAs was fun. Minicamp was fun, man. So we got a feeling of what that felt like. And just seeing everybody out there having fun, I think that's the number one thing. And, competing at a high level day in and day out, that's what you live for. That's what you wake up and want to do day in and day out.
Tremaine, when you signed here, the Bears had just gone 3-14, both of you guys, and now there are expectations because of kind of the roster building that's been done. What does that make for a different feeling as you report to camp here? That there are some places in which you're favored to make the playoffs.
Yeah, to be honest, man, I learned a long time ago, like, you never really, worry about things that you can't control. And, the things that we can control, man, is how we work day in and day out. Showing up for our brothers, just holding each other accountable. Everything on the outside, as far as that, is going to take care of itself. You know what I mean? You put your focus on being your best every day, and that's individually. You know what I mean? Holding yourself to a high regards, and, holding your brother to a high regards, and, everything else is going to take care of itself. Obviously you walk in with that confidence that you're supposed to be here. It's no shock to nobody. You know what I mean? Like, we have that belief. And, just having that belief and showing up with that confidence day in and day out, like, you're going to feel that energy. And that energy is going to change. You know what I mean? Like, everybody on our team are healers, man. Healing means a transfer of energy. So, when we communicate with one another and, we take the field and, we go to meetings and go to practice, all that other type of stuff, like, you're going to feel that from your brother. And, like, that's when you have a good team. It's not just one man, like, oh, I got to carry the weight. Like, nah, it's like we depend on one another and we lean on one another because it's going to be ups, it's going to be downs. Like, that's the league. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in it long enough to even know what it looks like on paper. Like, you're going to go through adversity. But, I think the good thing is, experience is the number one teacher. And, as of last year, obviously, that was a lot of our first time. Like, we know what that feels like. Like, we know what it feels like to be at the bottom. We know what it feels like to have success. So it's really like taking those experiences, taking those lessons, and bringing it on this year. But, definitely exciting. And like I said, man, we're definitely confident. And, we know what we have. Now it's just time to go work.
TJ, defensively, you guys obviously have your own growth process to tend to throughout training camp. But what do you kind of view as your piece of the responsibility of both challenging Caleb and helping him to come along through July, August?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's not really, I think in general, I think our biggest thing that we can do at practice is challenge everyone, challenge each other, because that's how, what Maine was saying, that's how we're going to get better. That's how we're going to get to where we want to get to. But, I mean, I'm just excited to get out there, even just walking in the building and seeing everybody and, kind of that energy building up. But the practice field is where it's at. So that's where the magic happens. So getting out there and working out all the kinks and then getting to it, because, the best competition we have is our offense, and we're excited for it. So we're going to get out there and compete, because that's what we do.
Tremaine, with how important the three technique position is to a linebacker's job, what will you need to see from Jervon as he tries to take that role over to know that that spot is shored up now that Justin's gone?
Yeah, well, I think for one, I said it in a laughing way, but just seeing the work that he's put in, like just his physical stature and just, his build, speaks measures just as far as like the work that he's put in. I saw it even last year when he first came in as a rookie. I mean, he works extremely hard. You know what I mean? Obviously, he got drafted high, but at the same time, you can tell like there's a chip on his shoulder. And just seeing him take that next step, being dominant like we know he could be. Obviously he was dominant last year. Let's just call it what it is. But even taking that step, for this year, guys like him, even Zach, like you said, we have a great group. You know what I mean? And I know all those guys feed off one another. You know what I mean? The way that they practice, like Dex, to be so big, he's always one of the first ones to the ball, running out of the stack. And that doesn't go unnoticed. Like, everybody in the meeting room sees it. And like I said, his work speaks for itself, and it's going to translate over to the field.
Who on this team is most likely to be the star of Hard Knocks?
Get out into my guy too. I'm gonna let him answer that question. I don't
appreciate
know.
that. No, I got no idea. I think D-Walk is always a high contender for that. But no, I don't know. We got some characters on this team, so it'll be fun, for people to see their their true personalities. And I think us just going out there through the grind of camp and seeing the guys who still keep that energy. It's gonna be a lot of fun for sure.
Does it change anything for you guys? Seriously, is that?
Not really. I mean, it's we're here for a job, and we're here to get better every single day, but also enjoy our time here and work as hard as we possibly can to get to where we want to get to. But to kind of give people an insight on what's going on, I think it's cool.
You both have been on teams that weren't playoff teams. The next year they made the playoffs and went on from there. Like, what will you be looking for or trying to just put on the team to get to that level to make that jump?
Yeah, I think it's just for one, the sacrifice, and for two, the work. I think anytime you have success, no matter what business you in, you can't get around the work. There's no shortcuts to get to a certain point. And I think that guys understand that, and I think ultimately that's what it's going to take. You know what I mean? I think when the focus is on the work and not so much the outside of individual accolades or whatever, that stuff is going to come. When you focus on the team, when you focus on being your best, that stuff is automatically going to come. And speaking on previous situations, like you mentioned, that's what the focus was on. And, it's not really even looking at those situations because I'm focused on what we have here now and, giving that feeling to everyone around so they can see what it feels like. And, we felt that a little bit last year. I think people around felt that. And I think that's what excitement going into this year. But, I think that's what the main focus is, man. Just focus on, how can I get better today? And, if everybody's mindset is like that, we'll be sitting where we want to sit at.
TJ, we heard from polls talking about going around the city or the area in the summer, just hearing, feeling the excitement about this team. Any stories from your end about getting out this summer, just encountering Bears fans and feeling the energy around this team?
I mean, I'm from here, so just about everyone on my phone is a Bears fan. But no, I've gotten just all the support and all the love I feel. Just about every day. Starting camp, and you get 5-6 text messages just saying good luck with camp and all that. But no, I mean, just going around golf courses and, talking, checking in when you get to the pro shop. They're always, getting excited, asking questions, trying to get insight on everything. But that's Chicago, so that's why you love it.
There was a lot of hype going into that Green Bay game last year, and then of course the letdown. And I know in the week after that, there was from coaches and players the hindsight mindset of, well, maybe if we would have done this a little differently in training camp or the preseason, the outcome wouldn't have been like that. Were there lessons that you learned from training camp last year that you'll take into this year to make sure that situation doesn't repeat itself?
I mean, I feel like every year, right, you try to, especially, when you don't get to that top of the mountain, you try to go back and look at, what you could change or what maybe we could tweak here and there and things like that. And I feel like we're always just constantly evolving, trying to get better. So there's always going to be something, right? There's always a what if and things like that. But I think at the end of the day, what we do here well is work. I've, obviously been in Philly and been in here, but, here it's, you come in and you get ready to work, and that's what coach expects. That's what the players expect. And so it's something you want to be a part of. But I feel like camp is a grind for a reason. It's an early look at adversity for this year's team. And, we get to see how we kind of learn from what happened last year and learn how we can, stay healthier and do those things and come out, firing week one for sure.
TJ, at the end of last year, the two of y'all chemistry was really, really good. Y'all make plays on each other. You make a big hit, you get a big, a lot of plays like that. What do y'all think y'all can improve from in terms of just how y'all play off each other? What areas are y'all looking specifically to kind of even develop a little bit more chemistry about?
I mean, I think, Maine and I, we talk a lot, but I think even just last year, I think for us, we want to just start hot. I felt like, we both agreed that we kind of got off to a slower start and we just want to hit the ground running. Football is such a humbling game, right? Because every play you need to be on your P's and Q's. And, but I think with us, we see the game the same way. We see how it's supposed to look. We know when it's not. There's plenty of times that, at practice and things like that when Maine's looking at me like it's time to go, and I'm looking at him the same way. And, but I think for us, we want to continue to obviously just be in the center of the defense. The communication is key at our position, but takeaways change games for sure. So being around the ball as much as we can and starting to do that early on for sure.
I mean, there seemed to be a consensus that the defense had a breakthrough down the second half of last season. What do you think was achieved by your group down the stretch of last season that can carry forward here into 2024?
You know, I think it starts with a belief. You know what I mean? It's a simple answer, but at the end of the day, it's a belief that, you know, we can be as good as we, you know, say we could be. And, you know, I think that we've shown that. And, you know, I think that was an accomplishment, man, because, you know, obviously when you bring in new pieces, it's, you know, you have that question, you know, how good can we really be? But, you know, obviously when you show a glimpse of it, you know, you show, you know, what you can truly do. You have different guys making plays. And, you know, I always think, man, a good team, like, it's no just one or two players. Like, we had multiple people, you know, making plays day in and day out and, you know, week in and week out. And, you know, that's what you want. And like I said, man, just when we hold each other accountable, like, I think everybody came into the meeting rooms, you know, with just pure humility, you know what I mean? Like, if it was something that needed to be corrected, you know what, I get that corrected. You know, we can go to each other as men and talk as men, because at the end of the day, we all want the best for each other. And, you know, if I want for, you know, my teammates what I want for myself, you know, we'll be sitting at a good spot. So, you know, I think that's the mindset in our locker room. That's a mindset on our side of the ball. And, you know, we have great leaders, man, and now it's just time to lead out front and, you know, just show everybody else what we already know.
DJ called you guys a top 5 defense. Do you guys view yourselves in that same light right now?
100%.
No doubt.